Good afternoon, Ian. If you could introduce yourself, please.
So my name's Iain Armstrong. I wear two hats in public hypertension. One is, first and foremost, is a nurse consultant at the centre in Sheffield. I've been involved in PH for just over 20 years. And secondly, I was one of the founding members of PH UK, which again was it's 20 years. We start our 20th anniversary next year, 2019. And I know what your next question is, so let me just is why. There was a group of us nurse specialists, and if you imagine 20 years ago, it was a very small area, because we couldn't treat it, so there's not. But there was a colleague of mine who was working at the Royal Free Hospital in London, who I knew, Sarah, and we talked a bit on the phone, particularly got difficult patients and difficult issues to get sorted out. And we thought it would be a good idea for us, of the 20 or 30 patients we were seeing in Sheffield, if there was 4 or 5 that might make themselves available for new patients when they came along, so they'd a bit of peer support, just telephone. If we put our names together, then we could share this, so how to do that. In essence, that's what PHA was going to be. It was just going to be a telephone list of people, because the internet was around then, but there's no such thing as Facebook, and there was no intention at the time of having a patient organisation. I probably still don't know how to do that properly, but it started off as a peer support by telephone, almost like a pen pal type stuff. And then just naturally this grew organically, into the group grew, and then and the Department of Health at the time could identify PH as a rare disease that probably should be commissioned by central government, so have some central support, because it's such a rare disease. And so that's where the thing started growing again, just naturally from that. And really importantly at that stage, Great Ormond Street, the service that was developing there, because it involved parents who sort of came with a different level of energy and engagement, seemed to say we ought to be more organised than this, and so you become a charity, then a registered charity. And it's been hard work, but to go from that to where we're at. Our very first meeting, I remember having to pay. There was 2 guys that came from the Royal Free patient and his partner, and they'd no money to get to meeting, so we put hands in his pocket and paid for their tickets. Because that's what you do at that time, and then it's sort of just grown naturally from that.
How many members have we got now?
So now we're talking about 2018. We're around about 4,000, just over 4,000. Really I think that's really important, because if you think in the UK we've got about 7,000, 8,000 patients. To have half your population engaged as members or receiving information. Now, being a member of the PHA, it doesn't cost anything. You're not mailing this, you've got access to the materials that you've got and advice and those sorts of things. And you can be involved or not, but I think we've tried never to lose sight. The purpose of PHA UK primarily is about information, quality information, as opposed to I went to the doctors today and they sent me this place and they said I've got this pulmonary hypertension. Go on Dr Google, you pull up and your first 20,000 it's terrible.
Yes.
And the problem is with anything on the internet, it never gets edited. Sometimes it's not better. There's no quality editing, it could just be somebody's opinion.
Yeah.
So we've not lost that, so much of what we do is producing material, be it like the Emphasis magazine that comes out every quarter.
That's brilliant.
Materials on, just looking around the office as we're speaking, clinical trials in pulmonary hypertension, working through the financial benefit system, that type of thing. And now, just like where we're at now, also learning how best to use social media. So WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, blogging, those sorts of things. Because we've learned over the years, one of the things that's really, really helpful to other people, be them people with PH themselves, partners, the family, etc., is to hear other people who've been there, done it, and got through it.
Yeah.
And the ones, and they're honest with you and say sometimes it's really bad, but it's just hard work. And for the majority, they get through it. And so you're not isolated. And that is one of the really healthy things about the internet and Facebook and that. Used properly, it can bring people together very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Without lots of complex technology.
Yeah.
So
what do you enjoy about working with the PHA?
I mean, all sorts of stuff. And I mean, I've got to say, I think it's a bit that's made me stick with PH professionally as well. So as a job, it's one of those areas of health that's constantly changing, because there's new treatments, there's new ways of managing. It's grown. We've seen successes because people with PH live a lot longer. We're better at getting the information out to them, etc. And from a PHA point of view, and this might sound a bit tweet, I just really enjoy the people you meet with PH. I do. There's something unusual with them.
Yeah.
Even with the family. I mean, some odd bods as well. some odd people.
Yeah.
But it's being able to be part of making a difference with people's lives. And it's hard work. Well,
it's well worthwhile, isn't it?
It's well worthwhile.
Rewarding.
You can see the difference that it makes, and you can see the needs that are there. And for the majority of the time, even while it's work, it's like work that you enjoy doing. If you enjoy doing it, it's not hard work.
Yeah.
And from a PHA point of view, charity perspective, it's refreshing because you don't have all that rubbish sometimes, and it is rubbish that you get from a professional job working with the NHS, all that bureaucracy, which I still love that job. But with the PHA, it's about the members of the organisation, whereas NHS comes with lots of bureaucracy and all that type of thing. So it's people. I think it's a people thing, and seeing it go from nothing to where we're at now. So 4,000, and it's a good question, because I was just speaking to Sean about this, who works at the PH office, and at the moment in 2017-18 we're averaging 60 new members a month.
Wow, that's really
And again
good.
with a small disease there. That means, so if we weren't doing things right, people wouldn't be wanting to join.
Yeah,
it's not like you go to that centre because that's where you get your kids. So that's a confirmation as well.
So obviously with your hard work and everyone else's hard work, the PHA has really, really grown. And how do you think people, the public, can help you even more and get involved with the PHA?
Well, I mean, there are a number of ways, and I think it's fairly comfortable about being part of this community, the PH community, because the more we are, the more effective it can be. And I mean, we should never forget that, it's healthcare, and healthcare is expensive, and we're fighting for limited resources. Now, we're an organisation, and I'm certainly chairman that's not asking for a bigger slice of the cake than we deserve. But to get that, sometimes we've got to be, what's the word, a common voice together that can support, and sometimes that's just, we are the society, so this is the organisation represented. We're looking to strengthen now and in the near future our engagement politically, small p and big P, so feeling comfortable of using members of parliament, doing some lobbying, those sorts of things. Feeling comfortable, say, talking about PH, doing fundraising. But no apology at all, it costs money to run a charity. But independently last year, we didn't ask for this. There's an organisation that looks on the Charities Commission website, and they look at when you submit your account, how you spend your money. And, I'm really proud, and I know trustees are really proud, and people working there are really proud that, 95 pence in every pound goes on charitable activity, just 5p go on the running costs, so that's salary, office, electricity. Now you look at many charities, that's it's phenomenal that we achieve that on 5p, but that's being wise with stuff. So There are just lots and lots of ways, but the first thing is to join. We're not looking for yes people. In fact, we've had a meeting earlier today that I know you were at, without going into detail about that, about, disruptive thinkers, people who can think and challenge, but in a positive way rather than my agenda. And people just support, knowing it's okay, we understand it, and showing interest and flying the flag, that type of thing, and willing to either simple stuff. You just don't underestimate the ability to say, I'll sign that petition, because it does make a difference.
Yeah.
And, that's a society that we work in, and also I think the more people get involved supporting people with PH, my job's easier at work because we've got another support mechanism.
Yeah, definitely.
So.
Oh, brilliant. So thank you so much for speaking with me.
Pleasure.
My final question is, what do you think the future holds for the PHA?
Well, I would hope, as I was saying right at the beginning, we're 20 now. I think we've got another 20 years ahead of us, because I think we're somewhere away from cure. And I see massive changes in the 20 years, sort of in treatments and numbers. I think where we're at, the next, we'll have a lot to do with lobbying and successful things like that, and getting access to. I think the number of new drugs will start to dry up a bit, but there'll be other ways of treating this condition, personalised medicine and things like that. And the PHA being an organisation that can communicate what will become some quite complex ways of thinking about healthcare in a fresh way. So it's meeting that challenge of being that process and something that can happen. Continuing supporting people with pulmonary hypertension. With people today who are diagnosed who, because of success, will be living good quality life in 20 years with PH. That's the reality of it. When I started in PH, it's not because I got involved in PHs. We went from 2.5 years of diagnosis. Now, with good response to treatment, people are doing 10, 15, 20 years. Not everybody. But, people being diagnosed today will be around in 20 years. And it'll be a different condition because it'll become much more of a long-term one rather than an acute condition. And acute tends to be something that might be 2 or 3 years, and there's lots of things. So when it becomes more chronic, and that comes with challenges. And normalising the condition, helping people live high quality of life, and not being defined by the condition. I'm not somebody with PH. In fact, I get really encouraged at work in clinics when people say, I don't even think of myself as having a condition. I'm not got it, I'm not naive. It certainly doesn't define me. And so, really good, high quality, but also realising that, life changes quite dramatically, but it does all the time for us. It's just that it wasn't a lottery win, it was this unexpected guest called PH that came knocking. And no matter what you do, it won't go away, so you say, right, this is where you're welcome, you're not welcome here if as much as possible. There's all sorts of analogies that can be useful for you, but despite PH, and I actually hate hearing people being called patients, because you almost engender this sort of response to somebody being affected by PH. So it's as much you've got PH, you're the one living with it day to day, but it's like, partner, husband, wife, whatever, it affects all sorts of people in many ways. And I would hope in certainly the next 5 to 10 years that we're an organisation that recognises more, not just the individual with the condition, but all that about, being, your nearest and dearest, and not ignoring them in the process, because they're going to get involved with help and not feeling completely useless. And I would, one of the things, a number of things, I definitely hope in the next 5 years that we diagnose this condition a lot quicker than we do now.
That would be good.
2.5 years for nearly 50% of people is just too long. So if you said, what's your one goal in the next 5 years that we might be part of with pH services is we've got to see pH diagnosed quicker. Because if you do, first the patient feels better. Because you know what's wrong. You're not being told there's nothing wrong with you. It's all in your head. Go away. Which I know a lot of people do. Not being treated with the wrong condition. And it's diagnosed early, on treatment early, and it's got to make sense. If you start treating with the right treatment, your longer term is better. Because in that 2 years, 2.5 years, the body's changing. It's not stopped and changing. So that'll be a lot to do in 20 years. Next 5-year goal, let's make sure we're bringing it down to, I don't know, it'll be 1.5 years a year. There's a subtle onset of symptoms that it gets so much, and then there's something not right. There's a level there, but and let's hope he can be diagnosed with a blood test or something.
That'd be wonderful.
That'd be great. And then we can concentrate on living better with it, and not as much what's wrong.
Excellent. Well, thank you ever so much
Okay.
today, Ian. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
It won't take a long time. We've got a panorama film out of that, wouldn't we?